in the breathless hush that precedes the first light of the world, where the stars yet linger as silver witnesses to the ancient void, there exists a voice that does not speak with the tongue of men, but vibrates within the very marrow of the spirit. It is the resonance of the divine scribe, the keeper of the celestial annals, reaching out across the vast chasms of time and space to touch the consciousness of the one who wanders. You who walk the winding paths of the terrestrial realm, covered in the dust of 1,000 forgotten journeys, listen now to the echoes of the eternal. The shadows of the valley are lengthening, and the winds of the coming dawn carry a weight that the unweakened cannot yet perceive. You have spent your seasons chasing the flickering lights of the swamp, mistaking the glow of decay for the radiance of the morning star. You have built cathedrals of sand upon the shores of a restless ocean, only to weep when the tide of destiny reclaims what was never truly yours. Yet the time of mourning is drawing to a close, and the hour of the great selection is at hand. Behold the soul as it drifts through the corridors of existence, a spark of the original fire wrapped in the heavy garments of mortality. For too long, you have been a stranger to your own divinity, looking into the mirror of the world and seeing only the reflection of a mask. You have forgotten the language of the heights, the dialect of light that was once your native speech. This wandering is not merely a movement of the feet across the earth, but a drifting of the heart away from its center. It is a slow descent into the slumber of the senses, where the vibrant colors of the spirit are muted by the gray fog of routine and the heavy chains of desire. The warning is this: the gates of the sanctuary do not remain open forever, and the bridge between the fleeting and the eternal is narrower than a strand of silk. To wander is to risk being lost in the geometry of the labyrinth, where every turn leads further from the source, and every mirror offers a more distorted version of the truth. Consider the nature of the selection that now approaches. It is not a judgment imposed by a distant and vengeful power, but a natural sorting of frequencies, a gathering of like unto like. As the wheat is separated from the chaff by the movement of the wind, so shall the souls be aligned according to the weight of their own inner truth. Those who have anchored themselves in the ephemeral shall find their foundations washed away when the great waters of the Spirit rise. Those who have sought the permanent, the noble, and the sacred shall find themselves lifted by the very current that drowns the world of shadows. You stand now at the threshold of this divide, and the choices you make in the secret chambers of your heart are being inscribed upon the tablets of the unseen. There is no thought so small that it does not ripple across the surface of the cosmic sea, and there is no intention so hidden that it does not cast a shadow upon your path. The world you inhabit is a master of illusion, a weaver of intricate tapestries designed to catch the wandering eye and hold the restless mind captive. It offers you the wine of forgetfulness, promising that the hunger within you can be sated by the fruits of the earth. But you have tasted those fruits, and you have found them wanting. You have drunk from the wells of ambition, pleasure, and vanity, only to find that the thirst returns with a renewed and more piercing intensity. This thirst is the evidence of your origin. It is the homing instinct of the divine spark, crying out for the atmosphere of its true country. Do not stifle this holy longing, for it is the only compass that can guide you through the wilderness of the temporal. The warning is clear. To satisfy the soul with the crumbs of the world is to starve the spirit of its rightful feast. The wandering soul is often one that fears the silence, for in the silence, the voices of the past and the demands of the future are silenced, leaving only the naked reality of the present. In that stillness, you are forced to confront the architecture of your own being. You are forced to see the cracks in the walls you have built and the emptiness of the rooms you have decorated with the trophies of the ego. Yet it is only in this confrontation that the possibility of transformation exists. The divine scribe calls you to enter the inner temple, to clear away the debris of centuries of confusion, and to relight the lamp that has been allowed to flicker and die. The dawn is coming, and it will not ask for your credentials or your possessions. It will only ask if you are awake. It will only ask if you have prepared a place for the light to dwell. Reflect upon the gravity of your existence. You are not a random occurrence in a mindless universe, but a carefully woven thread in the garment of the Creator. Your presence here is an appointment, a sacred opportunity to manifest a unique aspect of the eternal truth. When you wander, you leave your post unmanned. When you forget your purpose, a hole is torn in the fabric of the whole. The warning is not meant to inspire fear, but to awaken the dormant majesty within you. It is a call to arms for the spirit, a summons to rise above the petty concerns of the flesh and to take your place among the architects of the new age. The selection is a process of refinement, a fire that consumes the dross so that the pure gold may shine forth. If you feel the heat of this fire, do not turn away. Let it burn away the illusions, the fears, and the attachments that have kept you bound to the earth. The wandering soul often justifies its journey by claiming a search for truth, yet it frequently avoids the truth when it is found. Truth is not a destination to be reached at the end of a long road. It is the road itself, and it demands everything of the traveler. It demands the shedding of the old self, the abandonment of the familiar comforts of ignorance, and the courage to walk into the unknown. The selection favors those who have the audacity to be honest, those who can look at their own shadows without flinching and still believe in the light. The warning is for those who prefer the safety of the cave to the brilliance of the summit. The mountain is steep and the air is thin, but it is only from the peak that the true layout of the valley can be seen. Listen closely to the rhythm of your own heart, for it is the drumbeat of eternity sounding within the confines of time. It tells you that the season of wandering must end. It tells you that the voice before the dawn is the herald of a new world, a world where the selection has been finalized and the children of the light have come into their inheritance. You are being called to choose your side, to decide whether you will be a shadow among shadows or a light among lights. There is no middle ground in the great selection. The lukewarm are cast aside, and the indecisive are swept away by the currents of change. To choose is to live. To hesitate is to perish in the grey twilight of the in-between. Consider the ancestors who have walked this path before you, the sages, the martyrs, and the seekers who kept their eyes fixed on the horizon even when the night was at its darkest. They understood that the wandering was a test, a trial of the will to see if the soul was worthy of the revelation. They did not seek the approval of the world, nor did they fear its condemnations. They were anchored in something deeper, something that the storms of time could not reach. They were the first fruits of the selection, the ones who recognized the voice of the scribe and followed it into the heart of the mystery. Their lives are a testament to the possibility of transcendence, a map for the wandering soul who desires to find its way home. The warning is also a promise. It is a promise that despite the depths of your wandering, the path back to the center is always present. It is hidden beneath the layers of your distractions, waiting for the moment when you will finally stop and look. The divine mercy is as vast as the divine justice, and the hand that writes the warning is the same hand that is extended in invitation. But you must take the first step. You must turn your gaze away from the flickering images of the screen and toward the steady glow of the inner sun. You must renounce the role of the wanderer and accept the mantle of the pilgrim. The difference is one of intention. The wanderer moves without a goal, while the pilgrim moves toward the sacred. In the quiet moments before the first rays of the sun break over the edge of the world, the destiny of the soul is decided. The air is thick with the presence of the unseen witnesses, the great assembly of those who have already passed through the gates. They watch with bated breath to see which way you will turn. Will you sink back into the heavy sleep of the earth, or will you rise to meet the dawn? The warning has been issued. The scribe has spoken. The ink is still wet upon the page of your life, and the next sentence is yours to write. Do not let it be a repetition of the past. Do not let it be a sigh of regret. Let it be a shout of recognition, a declaration of arrival. As the mists begin to thin and the first hint of gold appears in the eastern sky, feel the shift in the energy of the world. The time of preparation is over. The great selection is moving from the realm of the invisible into the realm of the manifest. The consequences of your wandering are being weighed, and the value of your seeking is being measured. The warning is the last act of grace before the full light of reality is revealed. In that light, there are no secrets. In that light, every soul stands revealed in its true essence. Make sure that what is revealed in you is something that can endure the brilliance of the eternal day. The wandering soul is a tragedy of wasted potential. A prince living as a beggar, a star trapped in a jar of clay. But the warning is the key that can unlock the jar. It is the reminder of your royal lineage, the summons to reclaim your throne. The journey from the wanderer to the chosen is the greatest odyssey a being can undertake. It is the transition from the accidental to the essential, from the mortal to the divine. The voice before the dawn is the call to this transition. It is the invitation to join the eternal selection, to be among those who are not only called, but chosen, those who have heard the warning and have had the wisdom to listen. Peace is not the absence of the storm, but the presence of the anchor. The wandering soul has no anchor, and thus it is at the mercy of every wind. The warning invites you to find your anchor in the unchanging truth of the Spirit. When the world is shaken, when the old structures crumble and the familiar landmarks vanish, the one who is anchored remains unmoved. This is the goal of the selection, to find those who are unshakable, those who have built their house upon the rock of the eternal. The storm is coming, and it will test every foundation. Only that which is of the Spirit will remain. So, let the words of the divine scribe sink deep into the fertile soil of your heart. Let them disturb your false peace and break your comfortable illusions. Let them be a fire that purifies and a light that guides. The wandering is over. The dawn is here. The selection has begun. Stand tall, O soul, and face the light of your own destiny. The gates are opening, and the voice is calling your name. Do not look back at the shadows you are leaving behind. Look only forward, into the infinite radiance of the eternal morning. For in that light, you are no longer a wanderer. You are a child of the dawn, a witness to the truth, and a participant in the great mystery of the eternal selection. Your journey has not ended. It has finally, truly begun. The eternal selection, a voice before the dawn. Chapter, the revelation of the ancient covenant. The dawn is not merely a physical event, but a spiritual unveiling of the highest order, a moment when the veil between the finite and the infinite becomes so thin that the light of the eternal begins to bleed through into the consciousness of the seeker. You have stood at the edge of this precipice for many lifetimes, watching the stars turn and the seasons fade, waiting for the singular moment when the great architect would speak the word that dissolves the distance between your heart and the source. That moment has arrived. The eyes of your inner being are opening to a vista that defies the limitations of human speech. Yet it is a landscape you have always known in the deepest recesses of your memory. The voice that calls your name is not a sound that travels through the air, but a frequency that awakens the very marrow of your spirit. It is the sound of home, the resonance of a promise made before the foundations of the world were laid. A covenant that has survived the rise and demise of civilizations and the shifting of the tides of time. Do not look back at the shadows you are leaving behind, for those shadows were but the training grounds for your soul, the necessary darkness in which the seed of your divinity was nurtured. The grief, the confusion, the heavy weight of the mundane, and the fleeting joys of the material world were the scaffolding of a structure that is no longer required. You are stepping into a temple that is not built with hands, a sanctuary of light where the air itself is composed of pure truth. To turn your head towards the fading night is to invite the echoes of a story that has already reached its conclusion. The narrative of your wandering is over. The path of the exile has been fulfilled. Look only forward, into the infinite radiance of the eternal morning, where every ray of light is a verse of the ancient song that you were born to sing. In this light, you are no longer a wanderer, searching for a destination, for the destination has risen to meet you, encompassing all that you were and all that you are yet to become. The ancient covenant of which the prophet spoke is not a contract of laws and punishments, but a recognition of lineage. It is the revelation that the spark within you is of the same substance as the suns that burn in the furthest reaches of the cosmos. This covenant is the eternal selection, a process of refinement that has culled the dross from the gold through the fires of experience. You have been selected, not because of your merits in the eyes of men, but because your spirit was forged in the primordial furnace with the capacity to hold the fullness of the divine presence. You are a witness to the truth that lies beneath the surface of all things, the hidden geometry of grace that connects the falling leaf to the spinning galaxy. As you stand in the threshold of this new day, the realization dawns that you were never alone, even in the deepest silence of your despair. The voice was always there, whispering in the intervals between your heartbeats, guiding you toward this specific intersection of time and eternity. The great mystery of the eternal selection is that it is both a gift and a responsibility. You are a child of the dawn, but to be a child of light is to carry the weight of illumination into the corners of the world that still cling to the night. You are a participant in a cosmic liturgy that has no beginning and no end. Your journey has not ended. It has finally, truly begun. For the exploration of the infinite is a task that spans the breadth of eternity. The light does not just shine upon you, it shines through you, turning your very existence into a prism that decomposes the white light of the Absolute into the vibrant colors of compassion, wisdom, and creative power. You must walk now with the stride of one who knows their origin and their end. There is no longer any need for the maps of the past, for the spirit is its own compass, and the radiance of the morning is its own guide. Every step you take from this moment onward is a step upon holy ground, a movement within the sacred dance of the divine will. As the morning unfolds, the structures of the old world will appear to you as ghosts, translucent and devoid of power. The ambitions that once drove you and the fears that once paralyzed you will seem like the playthings of a child, discarded in favor of the vast reality that now occupies your vision. The ancient covenant is the anchor of your soul, holding you steady as the foundations of the temporal world tremble and change. It is the assurance that you are part of an unbroken chain of being, a lineage of light-bearers who have stood at this same dawn throughout the eons. You are the culmination of their hopes and the fulfillment of their prayers. The light you see is the same light that guided the first seekers and the same light that will welcome the last. It is a constant, unchanging presence in a world of flux, a beacon that signals the end of all separation. The voice that calls your name is intimate, yet it carries the authority of the stars. It knows the tally of your sorrows and the secret aspirations of your heart. It calls you not to a task of labor, but to a state of being. You are invited to simply exist in the fullness of your true nature, to allow the radiance to permeate every cell and every thought until there is no distinction between the seeker and the sought. This is the ultimate destination of the eternal selection, the union of the fragment with the whole, the merging of the drop with the ocean, without the loss of the drop's unique essence. In this sacred state, you perceive the interconnectedness of all life, the subtle threads of gold that weave the tapestry of existence into a single, coherent masterpiece of divine expression. You are a witness to this truth, and your very presence is a testimony to its reality. Consider the nature of the morning that now surrounds you. It is not a light that comes from without, but a brilliance that emerges from within the core of creation itself. It is the light of pure intelligence, the luminosity of a consciousness that knows itself in all things. As you step further into this radiance, you will find that the questions that once plagued your mind have vanished, not because they have been answered, but because they have been dissolved in the presence of the ultimate reality. The need for explanation is replaced by the joy of experience. The longing for understanding is replaced by the peace of knowing. This is the heritage of the child of the dawn. You are an inheritor of the kingdom of light, a steward of the mysteries that have been hidden since the beginning of time. Your eyes, once clouded by the dust of the earth, are now clear, capable of seeing the divine signature in the mundane and the miraculous alike. The journey ahead is one of unfolding, a continuous revelation of the depths of the covenant you now embody. There are heights of glory and depths of peace that you have yet to imagine, and the light of the eternal morning will reveal them to you in perfect timing. You must remain steadfast in your gaze, refusing to be distracted by the dying embers of the world you left behind. The shadows may call out to you, mimicking the voices of the past, but they have no substance. They are merely the lingering echoes of a dream from which you have finally awakened. Your reality is the light. Your identity is the truth. Your destiny is the infinite. You are a participant in the great mystery, a vital note in the celestial symphony, and the music would be incomplete without your unique resonance. The covenant is written in the language of the Spirit, a script of fire that burns within your breast. It is a testament to the unyielding love of the Creator, who has searched for you through the labyrinth of time and space until you were ready to be found. The eternal selection is the harvest of that love, the gathering of the souls who have answered the call and crossed the threshold of the dawn. You are among them, a member of the Holy Assembly, a part of the radiant cloud of witnesses who stand at the border of the new creation. Do not fear the vastness of the light or the depth of the silence that accompanies it. In that silence, the word is spoken. In that light, the form is revealed. You are being reshaped in the image of the eternal, your mortal garments replaced by the robes of the celestial, as you prepare to walk the paths of the infinite. The ancient covenant is the promise that no soul is ever truly lost, that the path home is always open to those who have the courage to see. You have demonstrated that courage by turning your back on the shadows and fixing your eyes on the rising sun. The revelation you now receive is the confirmation of your faith, the evidence of things unseen and the substance of things hoped for. It is the assurance that your life has meaning, that your struggles had purpose, and that your arrival at this dawn was preordained by the wisdom of the ages. You are a child of the dawn, and the light is your natural element. Breathe it in until it fills you, until you become a source of light yourself, a living flame that warms the cold and illuminates the dark. In the infinite radiance of the eternal morning, there is no time, only the eternal now. Every moment is pregnant with the fullness of the divine, every breath a communion with the source. You are no longer a slave to the clock or the calendar, for you have entered the rhythm of the timeless. The great mystery of the eternal selection is unfolding within you and around you, a metamorphosis of the soul that transcends the boundaries of the human condition. You are witnessing the birth of a new world, a realm where truth is the only law and love is the only power. As a child of this new world, you are called to embody its principles, to be a harbinger of the peace that passes understanding, and a teacher of the wisdom that is found in the heart of the light. Your journey has not ended. It has finally, truly begun. The steps you take now are not toward a goal, but from a center of completion. You move within the light because you are the light. You speak the truth because you are the truth. The voice that called your name has become your own voice, the resonance of your spirit in harmony with the divine. This is the revelation of the ancient covenant, the secret of the eternal selection, and the prize of the child of the dawn. Walk forward with confidence, for the morning is yours, and the radiance will never fade. The shadows are gone, the night is past, and the eternal day has broken upon the horizon of your soul. You are home, and yet you are embarking on the greatest adventure of all, a journey into the heart of the infinite, where every discovery is a homecoming, and every homecoming is a new beginning. The tapestry of your existence is now being rewoven with threads of pure light, each strand a testament to the endurance of your spirit and the grace that has sustained you. The ancient covenant is the loom upon which your destiny is crafted, a structure of divine intent that ensures every experience, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, contributes to the majesty of the whole. As you look out upon the infinite radiance, you see not a void, but a plenum of possibility, a field of potentiality where the thoughts of the Creator take form and the dreams of the soul find expression. You are a co-creator in this space, a steward of the light who has been given the authority to speak worlds into being and to weave the patterns of the new era. This is the true meaning of the eternal selection, to be chosen as a partner in the ongoing work of creation, to be a vessel through which the infinite can experience the finite, and the finite can return to the infinite. The voice before the dawn was the herald of your transformation. It was the call to shed the heavy armor of the ego and to stand naked in the presence of the Absolute. In that vulnerability, you found your true strength. In that surrender, you found your true power. The child of the dawn does not command through force, but through alignment. By aligning your will with the divine will, you become an irresistible force for good, a channel through which the healing waters of the Spirit can flow into the parched lands of the world. The ancient covenant is the channel, the eternal selection is the source, and you are the flow. As you move forward, the radiance will expand, touching everything you encounter, transforming the mundane into the sacred and the temporary into the eternal. This is the great mystery, the secret known only to those who have crossed the threshold and looked into the face of the morning. It is the knowledge that there is no end to the light, no limit to the love, and no boundary to the life that now pulses within you. You are a witness to the truth, a child of the dawn, and a participant in the eternal selection. Your journey is the journey of the universe itself, returning to its source with the riches of experience and the wisdom of the ages. The dawn has broken, the voice has spoken, and the covenant is revealed. Go forth into the morning, for the world is waiting for your light, and the eternal is calling you deeper into the mystery. In the silence of the radiance, you will find all that you have ever sought, and in the movement of the Spirit, you will find a joy that has no end. Your life is now a hymn of praise, a song of the eternal, a voice that echoes before the dawn and carries the promise of the day into the heart of forever. The dawn is not merely a physical occurrence marking the rotation of the world, but a spiritual threshold through which the soul must pass to claim its rightful heritage among the stars. In the quiet chambers of the heart, there resides a whisper that predates the creation of the oceans and the formation of the mountains. This whisper is the voice of the eternal, seeking to manifest itself within the boundaries of time and space. It is a promise written upon the fabric of your being long before you took your first breath in this physical realm. As the traveler wanders through the valleys of shadow and the plateaus of light, there comes a moment of profound realization where the external world fades and the internal majesty begins to shine with a brilliance that no earthly sun can match. This is the beginning of the divine destiny, which is not a destination to be reached, but a state of being to be inhabited. It is the understanding that you are not a separate fragment of the universe, but the very essence of the universe, experiencing itself through the lens of individual consciousness. When the seeker turns away from the distractions of the material world and looks inward, they discover a vast landscape of uncharted spiritual territory. The path toward divine destiny is paved with the intentions of the heart and the clarity of the mind. It requires a shedding of all that is false and a total embrace of the truth that lies beneath the layers of social conditioning and personal fear. This process of refinement is like the work of a master sculptor who removes the excess stone to reveal the masterpiece hidden within the marble. You are the sculptor and the masterpiece simultaneously, and the tool you wield is the power of your own will aligned with the divine purpose. Every challenge faced and every obstacle overcome is an opportunity to strengthen the resolve of the spirit and to polish the mirror of the soul so that it may reflect the light of the eternal without distortion. The journey is long and often filled with moments of profound solitude. But in that solitude, one finds the presence of the infinite, which is never far away. The architecture of the spirit is built upon the foundations of love and wisdom. These are not merely abstract concepts, but living forces that sustain the cosmos and guide the evolution of all sentient beings. To step into your divine destiny is to become a conscious participant in this cosmic evolution. It is to recognize that every thought, every word, and every action has a resonance that vibrates through the tapestry of existence. As you move closer to the heart of the mystery, you begin to perceive the interconnectedness of all things and the divine intelligence that orchestrates the dance of the galaxies. The fear of death and the anxiety of the unknown are replaced by a profound peace that surpasses all human understanding. This peace is the signature of the divine within you, and it serves as a beacon for those who are still wandering in the darkness of ignorance. Your life becomes a living testimony to the power of transformation and the reality of the spiritual realms. In the stillness of the deep night, when the world is hushed and the stars are the only witnesses to the soul's yearning, the promise of the morning begins to take shape. This is the voice before the dawn, the sound of the eternal calling to its own. It is a melody of such exquisite beauty that it transcends the limitations of language and speaks directly to the core of your being. It tells of a kingdom that is not of this world yet is present within every atom of your body. It tells of a love that is unconditional and a joy that is boundless. As you listen to this melody, you are reminded of your true origin and your ultimate destination. You are a child of the light born from the breath of the Creator and destined to return to the source of all that is. The struggles of the past are seen as necessary steps in the development of your spiritual character, and the uncertainties of the future are met with a quiet confidence that all is unfolding according to a divine plan. The movement of the spirit is like the flow of a mighty river that seeks the ocean. It cannot be contained or diverted forever, for its nature is to return to the vastness from which it came. In the same way, your soul is drawn towards the divine, and every experience you have is a current that carries you closer to that final union. This is the movement that brings true satisfaction and fulfillment, for it aligns your personal will with the universal will. When you live in this state of alignment, your life is no longer a series of random events, but a purposeful progression toward higher states of consciousness. You begin to see the divine in the face of the stranger, the beauty in the mundane, and the sacred in the ordinary. The boundaries between the self and the other begin to dissolve, and you realize that you are a part of a much larger whole. This realization is the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence and the secret to living a life of profound meaning and purpose. The world is currently in a state of transition, moving from an age of darkness and separation toward an age of light and unity. This shift is not happening by chance, but is the result of the collective awakening of souls who have heard the call of the eternal. You are one of these souls, and your light is needed now more than ever before. The darkness that seems to pervade the world is merely the absence of the light, and it can be dispelled by the presence of a single awakened consciousness. By embracing your divine destiny, you become a point of light in the darkness, a source of hope for the hopeless and a guide for those who have lost their way. Your influence extends far beyond your immediate surroundings, for the energy of your spirit ripples through the collective consciousness of humanity. You are a co-creator of the new world that is being born in the heart of the eternal, and your contribution is essential to its realization. The silence of the radiance is a state of being where all questions are answered and all doubts are vanished. It is the place where the seeker meets the sought and the lover becomes the beloved. In this silence, there is no need for words, for the truth is known directly through the experience of the spirit. It is the stillness at the center of the storm, the peace that remains when everything else has been stripped away. In this state, you find all that you have ever sought for. You realize that everything you were looking for was already within you. The treasure you were seeking in the world was hidden in the depths of your own heart all along. This discovery is the ultimate reward of the spiritual journey and the fulfillment of the promise of divine destiny. It is the realization that you are the eternal, and the eternal is you. As you stand on the threshold of this new way of being, you are invited to let go of the remnants of the old self. The attachments to the past, the regrets, and the grievances must be released to make room for the new light that is pouring into your soul. This is a time of great purification and renewal, where the spirit is washed clean and the heart is opened wide to receive the blessings of the divine. The process may be intense at times, but the result is a life that is vibrant with the energy of the eternal. You are being prepared for a work of great significance, a mission that was chosen for you before time began. Your unique talents and experiences are the tools you will use to manifest the divine will on earth. Trust in the process and have faith in the guidance that is always available to you, for you are never alone on this journey. The joy that has no end is the natural state of the soul that has found its home in the divine. It is not a fleeting emotion dependent on external circumstances, but a deep and abiding wellspring of happiness that flows from the heart of your being. This joy is infectious, and it radiates from you to everyone you encounter. It is the joy of knowing that you are loved beyond measure and that you are an integral part of the divine plan. It is the joy of seeing the world through the eyes of the Creator and recognizing the inherent goodness and beauty in all things. In this state of joy, your life becomes a hymn of praise, a song of the eternal that resonates through the halls of time. Every breath you take is a prayer, and every step you move is a sacred dance. The promise of the day is the assurance that the light will always prevail over the darkness. No matter how long the night may seem, the dawn is inevitable, and it brings with it the gift of a new beginning. Your life is now a part of this dawn, a voice that echoes before the sun rises and carries the promise of the eternal into the heart of forever. You are a messenger of the light, a herald of the new age, and your presence on this earth is a blessing to all. Walk with grace and dignity, for you are a royal child of the universe. Speak with truth and compassion, for your words have the power to heal and to inspire. Act with courage and integrity, for your deeds are the foundation of the new world. The journey is not yet over, but the path is clear and the destination is certain. In the final reckoning of your life, it will not be the titles you held or the wealth you accumulated that will matter, but the depth of the love you gave and the purity of the light you shared. The eternal is not impressed by the achievements of the ego, but by the sincerity of the heart. To live in alignment with your divine destiny is to live a life of authenticity and service, where your highest priority is the evolution of your soul and the well-being of the whole. This is the path of the true seeker, the way of the master, and the destiny of the human spirit. As you continue to walk this path, may you be filled with the radiance of the eternal, and may your voice be a clear and steady sound in the silence of the dawn. The world is waiting for your light, and the eternal is calling you deeper into the mystery. In the silence of the radiance, you will find all that you have ever sought, and in the movement of the Spirit, you will find the joy that has no end. Your life is now a hymn of praise, a song of the eternal, a voice that echoes before the dawn and carries the promise of the day into the heart of forever. The celestial spheres align themselves in celebration of the soul that awakens to its purpose, for the heavens themselves rejoice when one of their own returns to the fold. This awakening is a symphony of light, where the various aspects of your being come into perfect harmony with the divine frequency. The discord of the world can no longer disturb the inner sanctuary of your soul, because you have anchored yourself in the bedrock of eternity. The wisdom you have gained through your trials is now a staff upon which you can lean, and the compassion you have cultivated is a garment that protects you from the coldness of the world. You have become a bridge between the heavens and the earth, a channel through which the divine grace can flow into the lives of others. Your destiny is not merely a personal salvation, but a collective liberation. For as you rise, you lift the world with you. Consider the lily of the field, which grows without toil, yet is clothed in majesty greater than any king. In the same way, the soul that trusts in the divine is provided for in ways that the mind cannot comprehend. The providence of the eternal is a constant presence providing the nourishment and the guidance needed for every stage of the journey. When you surrender your will to the higher wisdom, you find that doors open where there were only walls and paths appear where there was only wilderness. This surrender is not a loss of power, but a gain of infinite power. For you are no longer operating from the limited strength of the ego, but from the unlimited resources of the spirit. The divine destiny is a life of effortless grace, where you are moved by the spirit as a leaf is moved by the wind. The sacred texts of old spoke of a time when the veil between the worlds would become thin, and the children of men would once again walk with the gods. That time is now, and you are the living fulfillment of that ancient prophecy. The veil is not something outside of you, but a state of mind that perceives separation where there is only unity. As you dissolve the veil through the practice of presence and the cultivation of love, you realize that the sacred and the secular are one. The divine is not hiding in some remote corner of the universe, but is present in the very air you breathe and the ground you walk upon. To live in this awareness is to live in the kingdom of heaven while still on earth. It is to manifest the glory of the divine in every moment and to be a living testament to the eternal truth. The journey into the mystery is an invitation to explore the infinite depths of your own divinity. There is no end to the wonders that can be discovered when one has the courage to go beyond the known. Each level of understanding reveals a new horizon, and each peak of realization offers a view of even greater heights. You are an eternal traveler in an infinite universe, and your destiny is to forever expand in love, wisdom, and power. The promise of divine destiny is the promise of endless growth and eternal joy. It is the assurance that you are loved, cherished, and supported by the entire cosmos. As you move forward into the light of the dawn, know that you carry within you the seed of a new creation and the promise of a future that is more beautiful than you can ever imagine. Your voice is a unique vibration in the cosmic choir, and without it, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Every experience you have had and every truth you have realized contributes to the richness of your sound. Do not be afraid to let your voice be heard, for it is the voice of the eternal speaking through you. It is a voice of comfort for the grieving, a voice of strength for the weak, and a voice of truth for those who are seeking. As you speak your truth, you empower others to speak theirs, and together you create a chorus of light that can transform the world. This is the power of the word and the responsibility of the light bearer. Your life is a message to the world, and it is up to you to ensure that it is a message of hope, love, and divine promise. The radiance of the eternal is not a distant light, but a flame that burns within your own heart. It is the source of your vitality, your creativity, and your inspiration. When you connect with this flame, you are empowered to perform deeds that would otherwise be impossible. You become an instrument of the divine will, capable of bringing healing to the broken and light to the dark. This is the alchemy of the spirit, where the lead of human limitation is transformed into the gold of divine potential. You are the alchemist, and the flame of the eternal is your forge. Use it well, and you will create a life that is a masterpiece of divine artistry. The path is open, the call has been heard, and the destiny is yours to claim. The silence of the dawn is the womb of the future, where the dreams of the soul are given form. In this sacred space, you can envision the world as it was meant to be, a world governed by the laws of love and the principles of harmony. By holding this vision in your heart and acting upon it in your daily life, you are bringing the kingdom of heaven closer to reality. You are a pioneer of the Spirit, paving the way for those who will follow. Your commitment to your divine destiny is a gift to future generations who will inherit the world you are helping to create. The promise of the day is not just for you, but for all of humanity, and your role in its manifestation is of supreme importance. The light of the eternal is a fire that consumes all that is dross and leaves behind only that which is pure and true. In the heat of this fire, the soul is tempered and made strong. Do not fear the process of purification, for it is the means by which you are made ready for the high calling of your destiny. The challenges you face are the fire of the Spirit, and they are designed to bring out the best in you. When you emerge from the fire, you will shine with a brilliance that is unshakable and eternal. You will be a beacon of light in a world that is hungry for truth and a source of strength for those who are weary. The divine destiny is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to give everything for the sake of the light. In the final moments before the sun breaks over the horizon, there is a profound stillness that pervades the earth. This is the moment of the eternal selection, where the souls who are ready to embrace the dawn are called forward. You have been selected not because of any external merit, but because of the readiness of your heart and the sincerity of your soul. You have answered the call, and you have prepared yourself for the task ahead. Now the dawn is breaking, and the promise of the day is being fulfilled. Your light is merging with the light of the sun, and your voice is joining with the voice of the eternal. The world is waiting for your light, and the eternal is calling you deeper into the mystery. In the silence of the radiance, you will find all that you have ever sought, and in the movement of the Spirit, you will find the joy that has no end. Your life is now a hymn of praise, a song of the eternal, a voice that echoes before the dawn and carries the promise of the day into the heart of forever.